Yo, baby, I ain't trying to control you. You know what I'm saying? You can do what you want to do. Ain't nobody trying to handcuff you. That's what you're thinking. I want you to be by yourself, for yourself, with yourself. I don't want to control you. I'm just trying to give you this guidance. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Ain't nobody a slave to anybody, straight up. Yo, God's gift to every human being is the free will to think and the free will to choose. In scripture, Jesus states that all creatures think and every creature is possessed of will, and in this measure has the power to choose. Free will is a 50-50 partnership backed by God's infinite bank of deposits and withdrawals that I call the personal account of consciousness. For he has weapons ye not know of. The Most High will always back our choices by giving balance to whatever we choose to pursue. If your pursuit is of good intention, Infinite Source provides to fulfill the quality of comfort. And if your pursuits are of bad intentions, Infinite Source will also provide to fulfill the quality of discomfort. There is no escape from the natural law of balance. When it comes to what you pursue, the choice is yours. Ignorance to the natural law of balance is why most don't achieve much in life. They don't achieve much because they don't truly understand the conscious choice of right moves in comparison to making wrong moves. To illustrate this point, I knew this dude in my hood they called Little C, who chose the wrong path pursuing robberies and jack moves to come up. And in turn, he lost his life by going the wrong route. Even though the choice of his wrong was theft, he received equally what he pursued. His life was taken in self-defense by someone protecting their own property. Whether you know it or not, there are consequences in everything you do. Write this down. No one escapes the law of balance. The other day I was building with my girl on the topic of right and wrong choices after we watched the documentary on the African Holocaust. She asked me what I felt about Nat Turner's pursuit to free people that were being held against their will as slaves. And I told her that he was just reacting to the unnaturalness of slavery, in which he calls a revolt that led to the slaughter of many slave owners. So the force of a Nat Turner and others to get free, as Malcolm later said, by any means necessary, was a natural reflex to the unnaturalness of slavery. Don't sleep. The self-defense of reacting to harm is as natural as breathing in and out. The act of thievery on any level is a violation of a person's right to make a choice. Check this out. Slavery is theft. Lying is theft. Stealing is theft. Cheating is theft. Rape is theft. Molestation is theft. And murder is also theft. All forms of theft are one and the same, for they all cause harm to another by taking a person's right to make a choice through self-sovereignty. The word sovereign means one that is above being controlled by another. In other words, you're not a slave. There's no such thing as a slave. There's no natural slave in the universe. For black people, slavery was theft imposed upon Africans by people that never held a legitimate cause and never produced a legitimate effect from the unnaturalness of their actions. No one has the right to take anything from anyone. Everyone possesses the great gift of sovereignty, and understanding this gift is the foundation for the internal monarchy of self-government. A person that's self-governing is someone that's in control of their own thoughts, actions, and emotions without outside influence. Don't sleep. You have the choice of mastering yourself or being controlled by a master outside of yourself. The choice is yours. The homie Mark, who works for UPS, came into the shop to get a haircut. He was telling me how he wishes he was self-employed and didn't have a boss because he feels like he's going nowhere at his job. In response, I said everyone is self-employed because we're all self-governing, sovereigns who possess the free will of choice, and that all self-governing people who want the effects of good must respect the monarch of others. For example, every person I cut becomes the boss as soon as they sit in my chair. They're the boss because they tell me what service I'm to provide for them. It's not the other way around. Whether he got what I was saying or not, I went on to tell him as far as advancing in any field, one must perform an honest evaluation on the skills and abilities they have. Because write this down, you have to know yourself to find yourself. Word up. For most of us, choosing or changing a career path can be a difficult thing to do. When I was a child, I was told to always follow my heart and do what I love. Even though the idea was expressed with love, it became confusing as I was growing up because I love so many things. For instance, I love basketball to the point I played every day. But then I realized my love for the game wasn't enough to get me to the league. It was going to take some skills to get me there. I also love hip hop on such a high level that I would freestyle in ciphers every day. Until I realized my love for the rap game wasn't enough to get me a record deal. I was definitely going to need some skills to pay the bills. Now, I'm not saying that developing skills is something that can't be done, because that would be a lie. In this shared reality, we have the free will to become whatever we choose to become. But as far as myself, I did an honest evaluation of my own skills in both basketball and hip hop and decided to remain a fan instead of a participant. From there, I found my own natural ability in cutting hair. Don't sleep. Natural ability is one of the best ways to make a career choice. And once you realize your own natural abilities, love and passion then becomes the fuel that pushes the vision of becoming. One day, this lady brought her little boy in and asked me could I give him a haircut. I thought she would do like most mothers and tell me exactly how she wanted it done. But instead, she told me he can choose what he wants. As little man was looking at the hair chart by my station, he picked a hairstyle with a fancy design on the side. Of course, I looked over at his mother to confirm his decision, and she said, "He's okay choosing the right haircut for himself. You can cut it." I was impressed. I thought her style of parenting was real dope. At this time, my son was only 2 years old, so I was always looking for notches in parenthood. I asked her, does she always let him make decisions for himself? And she said, yeah, most of the time, because she wants him to learn how to evaluate things for himself and make the right choices. I told her that I might do that with my own son when he gets older, and she concluded saying, you should. There's nothing better than allowing a child to be themselves. Plus, it helps them learn to respect the choices of others. When I finished cutting his hair, I looked at his mother and said, that'll be $15. Then little man broke out his wallet, pulled the Velcro, handed me a dub, shook my hand, and told me to keep the change. When it comes to personal choice, write this down. Having the right is giving the right. Word up. When love and hope are behind all movement, the life of an individual is filled with the balance of peace and happiness. The key to natural law of balance is to never steal or cause harm to anyone. All rights are property rights that we all have the right to protect and use in the way we choose. The real estate is you. Understanding the principle of self-sovereignty not only stops one from condoning and allowing theft, no matter who it is, but it also leads one down the right path of freedom through self-mastery. Because again, you have the choice of mastering yourself or being controlled by a master outside of yourself. The choice is yours. Believe that. They can no longer keep it from us.